wasting money on cures. Forgot how to fix myself. They say that time is free. Then why is it so precious? Oh, I'll say memories in my head, like Polaroids on walls. They remind you to look ahead. Time is running out. Time is running out. Lately I've lost my track. I've sailed the deepest seas, hoping to find something to bring back better times. Oh, I'll say memories in my head, like Polaroids on walls. They remind you to look ahead. But time is running out. Time is running out. Time is running out. Time is running out. Time is running. Time is running out. Time is running out. What if my best days are over? They can't be over. They can't be over now. Time is running out. What if my best days are over? They can't be over now. Time is running out. Time is running out. Time is running out.
Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our latest AQA, A-Level Business live stream. We've got Edexcel coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. But this one's AQA, where we're going to take a look at models and theories for this session. 30 minutes or so with my good mate Graham in the middle. And Graham, you've brought a guest along as well.
Ansoff the bear. Do you want to say hello, Ansoff? No, he's muted. He's muted. In the library. In the library there.
Well, do you
Jacob
wanna-
Hanley there saying, I don't even study AQA. I'm just here to see Graham's tan. Did I mention I was in Bodrum last week?
I think you
Did I
did, didn't
mention
you?
that?
I think you mentioned to one or two people you're
Yeah.
going on holiday. But it's good to get you back. And of course, as you mentioned on Insta, you were flying back just for this session and for the next session. I tell you what, whilst you try and text Ansoff the bear to unmute him, let's just quickly mention the on-demand courses, which I know, Graham, you've put together and a big fan of for AQA and for Edexcel, separate courses. So if you're looking for a little bit of extra help, maybe you've not had a chance to do much exam technique preparation, that might be worth looking at if you go to ondemand.cheatsd.net/students and pick, well, obviously this is an AQA session, so pick the AQA course. Well worth it, I think.
Indeed.
And I'm just going to work out which are the right
Yeah.
buttons to press here. Oh, he's still muted. That's a shame.
Just remember, if you attended the live grade booster workshops in the cinemas, you get that on-demand course as part of the package. So scan the QR code on the back of the booklet, then you get access to all that extra fun.
Talking of fun, should we make a start then? Welcome to everyone who's joining us live. We've got over 120 people live already, and this number grows as people are joining us. We normally do a little activity called the Big Reveal, just to get us warmed up. So let's start with that one, Graham.
Okay, so hello everyone. If you're new to these, welcome. Please get involved in the chat window. We will try and answer and pick up as many clues as possible. So we're going to reveal 5 clues. They all allude to the name of a business. As soon as you think you know what it is, type it in the chat window. Should we look at clue number 1, Jim? Formed in 1516. So if you're sat there thinking, I know a business that was formed in 1515, it's got to be wrong because this was formed in 1516. So if you think I know a business formed in 1516, then please type that in the chat window. Not many to no idea. Well, let's have a look at the number 2. So it operates the UK's largest retail network with over 11,500 locations. It's not Cadbury. It's not ChatGPT. Should we reveal clue number 3? Staff typically wear a distinctively red uniform. Is it? I think it could be. It could be the Santa Claus Appreciation Society. It could be that. What do we think? So staff wear a distinctively red uniform. I think Josh is right in there with a real first-class answer. Number 4, should we reveal clue number 4? Staff are trained to work in extreme weather conditions. A lot of this work is outside, isn't it? It is outside. Clue number 5 is the business was privatised in 2013. This is a business that really delivers. Shall we have a look? It is indeed. It is the Royal Mail, a very topical business example, especially if you're looking at some context around employer-employee relations. So a really good business to look at. Great stuff. I'm double trouble there on the left-hand side.
Yeah, you are. Well, not for long. Suddenly realised there's 2 of us and that Ansoff the bear hasn't arrived. Shall we move on to our MCQs, Graham? Do you want to do the first one?
I'll do the first one, yeah. So, hopefully no one... did anyone see that one? Let's go through it anyway.
Let's decide what the answer is.
Business here. Business here is a small business that makes food products. All of its ingredients, bit of application there, are bought from 2 large suppliers who dominate their market and sell thousands of other small businesses like Business A. Just change the answer. How would Business A categorize its suppliers using the stakeholder mapping model? And I think a lot of people can see the right answer. Now, this question, it was actually a 25-mark essay question, stakeholder mapping. Can't remember the exact year, but it was a 25 marker. So it just shows how we really need to be on top of our knowledge and understanding, because a topic such as stakeholder mapping could be a 1-mark MCQ. It could be a 25-mark essay question. The answer is, of course, C, high stakeholder power and low stakeholder interest. Well done, everyone, for typing in what they saw on screen. Shall we move on to the next one?
A useful model. Let's do our next one. I'll do this one. So a business has a new leader, and that new leader has a management style with a high concern for task, but a low concern for people. So according to the Blake Mouton managerial grid, the new leader's management style is what? Or it's likely to be what? Either one of those 4 of the 5 styles in the Blake Mouton grid. Is it team leader? Is it produce or perish? Could it be impoverished or country club? What do we think? Let's give you 10 seconds on this. This is the kind of question that the examiners quite like to ask. It's a good way for them to test models and theories and cover a lot of them in the MCQs. But it's also a good question if you know the answer, because it means you can get it done in sort of 10 to 15 seconds, which gives you more time for the calculations if there are some. Well, most people are going for, indeed, Cool Dude saying B for business. Should we have a look? It is indeed, yeah, produce or perish, sometimes otherwise known as task management, but AQA prefer to use the phrase produce or perish. A high concern for task, a low concern for people, which isn't a management style that I recognise, Graham. Is that one you've come across?
Never come across that one, Jim. Never come across that one. But remember, the good thing about the Blake Mouton grid is you can also link it to what you would call the traditional leadership styles of autocratic, democratic, things like that. So, produce or perish, you could argue has elements of an autocratic management within it. So a very useful model to be familiar with. Well done, everyone. Should we move on to the next MCQ? Now, one of my favourite models, which is Elkington's triple bottom line, measuring the costs of activities, of which activities is essential for a business to be able to promote sustainability and corporate responsibility. So according to Elkington's triple bottom line, measuring the costs of which activities is essential for a business to be able to promote sustainability and corporate responsibility. Is it A, people and planet? Is it B, people, planet and profit? Is it C, planet and profit? Is it D, profit and people? If any people joining us tonight are maybe customers of IKEA, then you will find references to Elkington's triple bottom line throughout the store, because they reference it all the time. They are big on Elkington's triple bottom line. Jim and I came up with Jim and Graham's double bottom line. Do you remember? But Elkington launched the triple bottom line literally minutes after we came out with the double bottom line, and we were beaten to it. So shall we reveal the answer? It is indeed people, planet and profit. So Elkington would argue all of those are really intrinsically important when promoting sustainability and corporate responsibility. Get the people right, get the planet right, and the profit will follow. Be profitable, you can focus on people and the planet. So they all integrate really, really well. Should we move on to the next one, Jim?
Yeah, it's a good one. I think on that one, I think some students think that Elkington was basically saying, don't worry about profit. If you want to be sustainable and be socially responsible, just focus on the other two. In other words, that there were two that businesses need to focus on, but he didn't say that. He said that actually profit was important as well. So it's all three. Okay, yeah, the next one. Well, we've got one of our favourite formats, haven't we? 2 statement questions here. So as always, the answers are the same: true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. But you need to work out whether each of these statements, 1 and 2, is either true or false. Let's look at them. According to Cliff Bowman's strategic clock, a strategy of differentiation will likely involve charging a higher price than the strategy of hybrid. And then a similar statement, but on a different model. According to Porter's generic strategies, these 2 models are very closely linked. A strategy of differentiation will likely involve charging a higher price than the strategy of cost leadership. So what do you think on these? I think it's a really good question, that one, because it shows how the 2 models are closely linked. I mean, they weren't written together, but you can use them both, can't you? Good question. A few more seconds on this one. Jessica and Jemima and Josh. Actually, no, Josh is going for a different answer. Malachi is going for A. So is Arhan, Harry, and Max, and Katie are also going for A. In fact, A. Cool dude mentioning A for Ansoff. We've not had a question about Ansoff yet. I'm not sure whether that will appear or whether he will appear, or she. Anyway, should we have a look at the answer? The answer is indeed, yeah, it is. Well done. I think most people said A in the live chat. Yeah, don't forget, differentiation on the clock is to the right of hybrid, isn't it? So is it position 4? I think differentiation, hybrid is position 3, but it's to the right of hybrid, which means a higher price. And yeah, Porter's generic strategies basically said, well, differentiation enables you to charge a higher price for in the same market, same industry, compared with those operators, competitors who are following cost leadership and therefore trying to use price as a competitive weapon, therefore likely to charge a lower price. Excellent. Alicia is asking about BTEC Business Unit 2, the research pack. Alicia, no, we can't do, or not allowed to do a live stream on that now. That's now a live assessment. So we can't mention that, and we can't do a live on it now that it's live. But good luck to everybody who's got Unit 2 tomorrow. Graham, do you want to do the next one?
Okay, yes. So this is a really handy thing to know. A business wants to change its organizational culture. Currently, the culture has a focus on specific work activities and projects. Management want to give individuals much more freedom to act independently. According to Handy's culture model, this would involve moving from a person culture to task, role to power, power to role, or task to person. So, this business wants to change its organization culture, as many businesses often do. Currently, the culture has a real focus on specific work activities and projects. Management want to give individuals much more freedom to act independently, maybe more delegation, more empowerment. What do we think? Is it A, is it B, is it C, is it D? Remember, there are 2 cultural models on the specification, which you need to be familiar with. This one's handy. There'll be a bonus prize for anyone who can type in the chat window the other cultural model after this. So should we have a look at the answer? It is, of course, it is indeed D. So moving from a task culture to a person culture. Can anyone? Hofstede, well done, Charles. Hofstede, national cultures is another cultural model that you need to be familiar with. Well done, everyone.
Yeah, it was examined last year, wasn't it? There was it a 9-mark question or a 6-mark question, 16-mark question about a change from it was to a role culture, wasn't it? It was from a power culture to a role culture.
To a role culture.
Yeah, good question last year, but of course it could come up again because it's everything
Definitely.
can be examined this year. Right. Oh, this is a good question. A research report finds that the largest businesses in the soft drinks industry make higher profits than the largest businesses in the hotel industry. Okay, so which of these models, 4 listed there, would be best at explaining those findings from the research? Could it be Greiner or Greener's model of growth? Could it be SWOT analysis? Could it be the Boston Matrix or Porter's 5 Forces? What do we think? An interesting question, this one. So a research report finds that the largest soft drinks business make higher profits than the largest businesses in the hotel sector. Which model would explain why that happens? It's a very interesting question. Difference of opinion in the live chat, which suggests it's a good discriminator. Most people, though, I think going for the same. I'm just looking down the list here. Loads of answers coming through. Syra, Belle, Kelly, Lucy, all going for the correct answer. So let's have a look at it. It is indeed D, Porter's 5 Forces model. And we understand that Porter's 5 Forces model is about industry competition, the different forces, such as the power of buyers, the power of suppliers, the threat of new entrants. What Porter's model does, it tries to predict why some industries have higher profits than industries that have low. And basically, industries where the forces are high, for example, a high threat of new entrants or a high threat of buyers, bargaining power of buyers, they tend to have low profits, whereas industries where the forces are weak tend to have high profits. So that's how the model works. Excellent. Have we got one more? Have we had a question on Ansoff yet? Oh.
Would you believe this is by magic? So Deliveroo, a food delivery business, initially grew by offering services to restaurants. In 2017, it launched a new service called Deliveroo Editions, which operates kitchens that prepare food exclusively for orders placed through the Deliveroo app. This allowed Deliveroo to reach a different customer base and reach areas in the UK where it didn't have a physical presence. So according to the Ansoff Matrix, this is an example of diversification, market development, product development, and market penetration. So the Ansoff Matrix, a very frequently one used by students, even if it's not particularly, it's not specifically examined, because, using models and theories is a great way to get depth of analysis in your answers. So you can often use Ansoff to get that depth. So I think the majority,
as always, is in the question. It's always in the stem. The examiner will always give you clues on these type of questions as to which one of the 4 boxes or parts of the matrix you need to go to. And I think Cool Dude has made a great comment about that actually in the live chat.
But it is related to the geographic areas. So that must mean
therefore
it is market development. The thing is with Ansoff, a lot of students, when they get asked a question on Ansoff, fall into the trap of saying, well, Ansoff argue that market penetration carries the least degree of risk. Well, that is true to a certain extent, but there is risk within each strategy. For example, Aldi opening up maybe 20 new stores could be argued to be market penetration. Aldi launching a marketing campaign could be argued to be market penetration. So both market penetration strategies, one carries a much higher degree of risk. So you really need to drill down when looking or talking about Ansoff, because each element has its own degrees of risk. Yep. Well done, everyone. Well done.
Should we move on? That's the end of the MCQs. So, one of your
Oh.
favourite activities, Graham. The model. Do you want to do the first one?
I'd love to do this.
Okay.
I'd love to do this. Is it a completely random spinner?
Well, you know the answer to that, and I know the answer to that, and of course it must
I
be yes.
know, and that means we've got no idea what it's going to land on. So the extended marketing mix here. So we've got a range of different businesses. So we're testing application. Give me an example of how people, physical or process, applies to. And the good thing about this is Jim and I got no idea what it's going to land on. So we get really excited about this. Ansoff can hardly contain himself because it's as much fun for us as it is for you. Should we find out what business is going to land on? I'm hoping it's Nissan. Let's find out. Should we
Uber
spin the
for me
wheel?
with those, because those are the 3 extra parts of the 7 Ps, aren't they? So I think Uber for me will be easy. Let's see. It's not Uber.
Oh, pure Jim. What a surprise. So, can you type into the chat window how people, physical or process, those elements of the extended marketing mix? You can just do 1, 2, or all of them. Apply to fitness gym chain, pure gym. So try and pick out elements that you could apply to the people aspect of the extended marketing mix, the physical aspect, or the process aspect. What do we think? So this is all about application. Now, remember, if you joined our live cinema workshops, you'll be familiar with a concept we talked about called such as seasoning. So physical, bringing in new equipment for customers to use. And you could even take that further, such as, then you could give a really contextualized example. So personal trainer is a really good example of application in relation to the people process. That is brilliant. Excellent stuff.
I'll pick a few more out as they're coming in here, Graham. Lots of people typing furiously. So there's Cyrus, and I'll pick maybe 1 or 2 more.
Yeah. That application there is fantastic. Employees within a gym who are ready to help you learn how to use the machines and to lead classes. So just reading that statement, even if we remove the word gym, you would know that we're talking about a gym there. So process, we've got gym memberships and fantastic. Some really good applications.
What do you think? What do you think to this one?
We've got some such as seasoning there, haven't we? Yeah. Such as bench presses are an example of the physical environment. I'd be interested to know how much you can bench, Jim. We'll discuss that later. So the physical gyms, the equipment.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, mate. You've been through that one. Here's one from Phoebe on process. This is one of the ones on process, isn't it?
Yeah. Payment methods that gym users can use, memberships. So we've really got the language of the business, haven't we?
Yeah, I love it.
Alex Hall saying he can bench 200k. I can bench 201. So somewhere to go, yeah, Alex. So shall we have a look at what we had? So people, employees who deliver services to club members, such as personal trainers. And we had that actually, didn't we, in the chat window. Physical, what customers see and use, such as gym's layout, cleanliness and equipment quality. So this is just dripping with such as seasoning. We've really assaulted this answer. How services are delivered, such as membership inquiries, schedule and booking, or fitness classes. So some really, really good application there. Well done, everyone.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the next application, Spinner?
Okay, let's do one more. It's a random model, isn't it? We don't know which businesses are going to come up. SWOT analysis. Now that's interesting, isn't it? That was a 25 marker, wasn't it? I think a couple of years ago. So what have we got here? So, we're being asked, not for the whole thing. We're being asked for an opportunity and threat. So remember the distinction between strengths, weaknesses, and then opportunities and threats. And, Graham, do you want to set the spinner going? Just let me know when, and we'll see what we need to apply this week.
Yeah, cool dude saying Greg. That business is on a roll there. So should we find out? Again, we've got no idea what's going to land on.
No idea. Let's have a look.
Should we find out?
Oh, I thought it was going to be Greg's, mate. But
it's not. I did thought it was going to be Greg's. Just crept into Waitrose. So what we want is an opportunity and threat for Waitrose. Now, when SWOT analysis...
One of those two, maybe.
Yeah.
One of those two.
When SWOT analysis gets examined, a lot of students tend to write what we call really descriptive answers rather than getting any insight or analysis or application. So again, this is where such as seasoning comes in. So opportunity, That is a really good one there, to expand into more food delivery services. That is a big opportunity. That also links really to threats, doesn't it? Of being, the threat of food delivery service impacting on Waitrose. So we've got some threats there, and we are recognising, Ellie's there about the threat of interest rates reducing
Yep.
disposable income for customers. That is really insightful, especially given interest rates have just risen again today. So again, people maybe with variable rate mortgages whose disposable income was squeezed may move from Waitrose to the likes of Tesco or even Aldi. Ellie, that is fantastic.
Similar
Really,
point coming through
really
here
good.
from Kelly. Just again, developing the analysis nicely. You could potentially change the word customers to shoppers, maybe, Graham. I remember you saying that's a great way of changing a vanilla term like customers, which is fine, but if you turned it to shoppers, it would be even more applied.
Definitely. So, if you're talking about hotel, you would be talking about guests, wouldn't you? If you're talking about Waitrose, it would be shoppers. There was a really interesting one there about, and there's so many good answers in the chat window. I think something about the opportunity for moving into more vegan products. I think I saw that, or green style products, or something like that. I saw there's so many good answers coming in the chat window. I may have missed that, but opportunity. So I think we've got some really good stuff there. Shall we find out what growing demand for products supporting health and wellness, such as plant-based and free from products. So maybe free from dairy or free from wheat, things like that. Threat: the growth of discount supermarket competitors such as Aldi and Lidl. Now, Waitrose, because they operate probably at the complete other side of the spectrum to Aldi and Lidl, have to a certain extent been insulated from the threat of Aldi and Lidl. But this cost of living crisis has narrowed that gap significantly, and they have really disrupted the market. So there's a lot of really good stuff there. Again, absolutely fantastic application, and we can see how even in the chat window we're using. So Cool Dude, they're talking about higher quality products. That's a strength. Obviously we're talking about opportunities, but they're high quality products as compared to other retailers such as Tesco. So Cool Dude recognizing that strengths are internal and using such as seasoning there. So a lot of students, when they're talking about opportunities, get opportunities and strengths mixed up, and they get threats and weaknesses mixed up. Cool Dude, bang on point there. That is a real strength of Waitrose. And you can argue subsequently that Waitrose are probably more, we can bring price elasticity of demand and income elasticity of demand into it here. So fantastic application. Really, really good. Really good.
So we've got one more activity format, and I think we've got two of these to have a go, haven't we? Which is a slightly longer, a sort of 1 minute activity where we just set you a little mini case study. Should I do the first one, Graham? This one?
Yeah, Archie Carroll, isn't it? It's Archie Carroll.
It is Archie Carroll's CSR pyramid. So here's our sort of mini case study, our context, and ideally what we're looking for here is a little bit of context and application in your suggested answers to the task I'm going to set you in a few seconds. So Frasers Group PLC used to be called Sports Direct PLC, but they've bought lots of businesses, so renamed themselves to Frasers Group. Is a public company which operates brands such as Sports Direct, and in 2016. The company's share price fell significantly when it emerged in the press, actually, that many of its warehouse staff were being paid below the national minimum wage. So with that as our little sort of stimulus or stem, here is our task for you to have a go at. So using Archie Carroll's CSR pyramid, can you give me and Graham 2 responsibilities from the 4 categories that are likely to impact how society views Frasers Group or Sports Direct? So over to you. And as the clock ticks through for a minute, as answers appear, we'll try to stick 1 or 2 of them on the screen before we reveal what Graham and I came up with. So people are picking out the different categories, but what we're looking for is an example, an application of the pyramid to, in this case, Sports Direct or Frasers Group. Lots coming through, Graham. Have you spotted some more? I've put 4 or 5 on the screen now, including Isabel there.
Yeah, I think there's some good stuff there. I think it's important to recognise the difference between ethics and legal responsibility. So obviously, I think there was a recognition then that paying workers less than the minimum wage is not legal. Paying staff only the minimum wage could be regarded as maybe unethical. It's legal, but they're making a lot of profit. Could they pay a little bit more? So it's important to recognise the difference between ethics and the legal element of Archie Carroll's CSR pyramid. So we've got the brilliant one on screen there. Legal. So it is legal because employees are being paid below the minimum wage. Ethical. Society has an increasing focus on ethics. They do say the only way is ethics. And due to poor treatment of staff, it could drive shoppers away. That is, again, absolutely on point. Application there as well. We're talking about shoppers. We're talking about ethics, poor treatment of staff. Brilliant stuff there. So Archie Carroll argued that, the foundation is, a business has to be, economically profitable and meet its legal responsibilities in order to fulfill its other obligations. So we got Sports Direct does have a responsibility to reward its shareholders. However, it needs to pay store and warehouse staff fairly and sell products at such as trainers and sportswear at fair prices. We've also got legal responsibility. Sports Direct has a legal responsibility to meet laws such as minimum wage laws and provide a safe working environment for warehouse staff and shoppers in its stores. So there were some absolutely superb bits of application there and a real understanding. And obviously you can critique Archie Carroll's CSR pyramid because you can argue that being more ethical may cost more money, but it could lead to a business being more economically viable. So some really good stuff there, some really good application. Well done, everyone. I think
Shall we do one more,
Graham,
Graham, to finish off? We've got one
we'll
more
just
of
do one
these
more.
with a different model, different case study, and I think we're returning to where we were right at the start of this session with our big reveal.
Can I just mention one thing? What Charles says? Why is economic before legal? Well, that's just because we just, for the sake of our PowerPoint. But if you look at the pyramid, the bottom of the pyramid, economic and legal's on the same level, so there's no order at the bottom. They are equally as important. So if you had to draw, and you never would in an exam, you had to draw the pyramid, you would have economic and legal at the very bottom. So the one wouldn't come higher than the other.
But the two are seen as the foundation of CSR, aren't they? Because without
the
a business being
foundations.
able to make profit, it's unable normally to be able to meet its other ethical and philanthropic responsibilities. And I don't think too many people mention philanthropic, partly because, like me, it's hard to spell. But also
That's easy for you to say as well.
But also our STEM was very much focused, wasn't it, around the legal and ethical issues that, in particular, have plagued Sports Direct for a while. Anyway, over to you, Graham. Do you want to do this last one here on Lewin?
We've come full circle, haven't we, with another first-class context here. Royal Mail. So Royal Mail provides postal and parcel delivery service. In the last 2 years, its market capitalisation, you really need to be on top of market capitalisation. It is a really frequently examined topic. Has fallen from 8 billion to 3 billion. Royal Mail has suffered from poor employer-employee relations. We mentioned that at the start. Declining volumes of letters sent by mail, rising operating costs and increased competition. The landscape has very much changed from parcel delivery firms such as DPD and UPS. So shall we look at our question?
Here we are.
Using Lewin's force field analysis model, we'd like one driving force and one restraining force impacting Royal Mail PLC currently. So, force field analysis is generally around change management as well. So have that context of change.
Yep.
So one driving force and one restraining force. You could sometimes you may have been taught push and pull factors, depending how you've been taught. Should we start the music, Jim, please?
Yeah, so just type driving : and then if it's a driving force or restraining : or whatever. Make it easier, and then we'll put some more on the screen. Here we go. Amazing answers coming. I've just
Yeah,
tried to
there
put
was some.
a
Yeah,
few
there was
there.
some.
Amazing.
There was some really good one. There was a really insightful one you put up at the end about previously about employees being a real restraining force, because a lot of employees of Royal Mail appear to be. If you know just what's under the press of, Royal Mail would argue not being open to change or open to being more efficient. So you could argue that is a restraining force. That is so. We've got, I think, Lenny there at the bottom there. Restraining force. Staff don't have the best relationship. They may be reluctant to change. So there's a link between Lewin and Cotter, when you're looking at change and models of change. So lots of their Katie, their driving force, threat of competitors. We've got more people using social media to communicate. Again, obviously that's really affecting the business model. So some Ellie there with Cotter and the other one. So should we have a look at what we had, Jim?
Just sticking Jess's contribution as well on the
Oh
screen
yeah.
before we look at.
Yes.
I think the key things to remember: driving forces are forces that try to encourage that or make the need for change, don't they? And it could be something that's external from the business. It could be a positive or negative, but it's the thing that says change is needed. Whereas a restraining force is something that says, well, we're not sure about this. It's a barrier, isn't it? A reluctance to change. And it's you don't have to describe Lewin's model. If you just use the word driving force and restraining force in your analysis, and then even better apply it to the context, then you're going to be getting the credit in your analysis for using Lewin's model.
Yeah, that's why sometimes it's called push and pull. So driving is pushing towards a change, whereas pulling is restraining, pulling away from the change. So we've got driving force of increased competition. That is really pushing or driving change. So to become more competitive, the growth of private delivery services, the decline in mail, more emails, social media, things like that is really driving. It's a real driving force. And again, we've got employer-employee relations, so strikes, dispute over wages, working conditions. There's cultural issues at Royal Mail, which are a real restraining force. People pulling away from change or don't want to change for a number of reasons. And Lewin is one of those we talked about in our cinema workshops about linking models and theories together sometimes to get real depth of analysis. So often a restraining force is people's self-interest, which therefore links to Cotter. So just by using the words, a real restraining force is self-interest. An examiner will know you're really linking two models and theories there together. And that is a real route to a depth of analysis. So where you can do that, then please do. But some superb answers, Jim, in the chat window.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll concur.
Love those. And Ansoff disappeared. Where's he gone?
Do you know what he's speechless, isn't he? Ansoff with the strength of the answers. Ansoff is speechless.
Yeah, brilliant.
Quite literally.
Tonight. There we go. We've done 35 minutes of revision on some of, not all, of the theories and models. We'll be doing some more live streams next week as paper one gets inches closer, and obviously we've got the warm-ups lined up as well in the evening before the exam. But 2 or 3 more for AQA coming up. Plenty of chance. We'll take a look at some 25 markers. We'll do some more MCQ practice. We'll do some quant skills and some 9-mark practice. So plenty of live streams coming up before paper one in what's that, a week on Tuesday, isn't it? I think. Might be right, might be wrong. Anyway, so if you've enjoyed the session, found it useful, please give us a thumbs up, give it a like, and more importantly, subscribe to the channel, because that way you'll get notified of all the upcoming dates and times, not just for AQA level business, but for other subjects. So, for example, tonight we've got economics. No, we've got psychology, haven't we? Got geography, sociology tonight as well, I think. So lots of other subjects. So subscribe to the channel, and then you'll see all the other live streams that are running during the course of this week and then throughout the next 3 or 4 weeks. Any more final thoughts, G, before we sign off?
No, but please, if you want extra help and support, as always, mention Instagram. We're all over the gram, aren't we? We're all over it with 60-second videos. We've got revision questions. We've got business news you can use. We've got Ansoff studying hard. Tutor to your business. Please follow us on Instagram if you want more help and support.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, thanks to everyone who's attended the live session. We've had a lot of people here tonight. Tried to put a few of the answers on the screen, but obviously not everybody, and don't have the ability to do that. But many thanks for everybody who's posted answers into the live chat and also kept the live chat nice and nice and full of banter, but also full of useful contributions. We'll see you live next week, and from Graham and I, and Ansoff in his absence. Cheers.